High above Joshimath, where villagers expected only storms and silence, Verneda saw something different, a promise in the snow that would pull him back through a year of waiting.
Hey, glad you're here. Welcome to the Himalayan Journals. Here on this channel, we bring to you real stories from century old field notes. We try to keep it simple and calm here. Think of it as a documented history of the Himalayas from the early 1900s, covering stories of indigenous wisdom, epic expeditions, and groundbreaking science passed on just as they were recorded. Subscribe, zone out, binge.
In the years following the war, few would have imagined ski tracks across the upper Garhwal. The mountains there were known for their rocky flanks, narrow valleys, and remote villages rather than smooth white slopes. Yet in 1945, while walking from the Quarry Pass to Joshimath, a RV Verneda noticed something unusual. The grazing grounds of Garson and Auli, stretched out in quiet alpine light, seemed to him ideal for skiing. That simple thought stayed with him through the months that followed. When winter returned, he kept his word and went back. His first visit came in February 1946. For 3 days he stayed among the slopes, but snow fell almost without pause. 2 of those days were white blizzards that left little chance to move, let alone ski still. The vastness of the view impressed him. Local people insisted that it had been an abnormal year and urged him to return. A year later, in February 1947, he did. This time the weather held steady, and Verneda found Garhwal in its true winter form. The journey began from Kotwara, the railhead on the East Indian Railway. From there, the road wound by Lorry to Pauri or Srinagar, then onward to Karanprayag. It was rough travel on narrow, newly built roads that permitted only one-way traffic. From Karanprayag, the road ended. Ahead lay 5 days of walking to Joshimath, or 3 if one had strong coolies and light loads. Beyond Joshimath, another day's climb led to the skiing slopes. Verneda noted small inspection houses along the route and a dharmsala at Garurganga, enough to make tents unnecessary. He observed that with the completion of the motor road to Gamoli, expected within 2 years, travelers could reach the slopes in about 5 days, or even 4, if the road extended to Pipalkoti. The country he explored lay on the north-facing slopes above Joshimath, over the Garson and Auli Bugyals. The highest point reached 12,458 feet, with the snow running down through forest to about 8,500 feet. He traced a continuous run of roughly 2.5 miles and believed that in good conditions one could ski from the Quarry Pass to Auli, perhaps even 8 miles across open ground. From Pangarshula, at 15,050 feet, he imagined a descent that followed the long ridges down toward Kulara. Though he had not tested every part, the map and his own eyes convinced him that the terrain was promising. He described how huts would be needed at 3 points: Auli at 9,000 feet, Garson at 10,500, and Kulara at 11,000. The setting, he said, was superb. The slopes hung over the blue depths of the Dhauli and Alaknanda valleys, framed by pines and oaks heavy with snow. Across the horizon rose a line of Himalayan giants: Chaukamba, Dunagiri, Nilkanta, Kamet, Nilgiri, Gauri, Hathi Parbat, and beyond them the peaks of the Zaskar Range. From his high point of 12,458 feet, even the summits of Nanda, Gunti, and Trisul were visible to the southeast. When Verneda reached Auli on the 20th of February, The porters refused to go higher through 5 feet of snow, so he made camp in a cowshed at about 9,700 feet. The shelter was rough but warm with a charcoal stove. He had with him a Garhwal boy who cooked, and 2 local men, one of them, Narain Singh, knew the ground well and could read the snow like a book. He wore snowshoes supplied by Venede and proved an invaluable companion. Over the next few days, Venede skied whenever weather allowed. The best snow lay above 10,500 feet, but below that altitude, it hardened into ice by afternoon. Light snow fell on the 23rd, spoiling the 24th and 25th, but on the 26th, the final day, the surface returned to perfection, and he called it his best day. He noted patches of wind slab, wet snow, and furrowed ice, but found most of it manageable. As he was alone, he avoided the steeper ridges, yet he observed that both Garson and Owley seemed safe from avalanches, something confirmed by the locals. He also recorded the snowfall pattern of that winter: light in late November, heavy in December and January, lighter again in February. Everyone agreed that February was the best month for weather and snow, though it seldom offered more than 10 clear days in a row. Venede dressed sensibly for the climb: warm underclothes, a flannel shirt, gabardine trousers, a windproof jacket, and woolen cap. He used snow goggles, face cream, and kept his boots well greased against wet snow. The holiday, he said, was strenuous but full of delight. He ended his account with quiet understatement. It had been enjoyable, and might have been better still with a skiing companion